Arrived in the middle of a heat wave, and Rio de Janeiro quickly became Rio Hell Janeiro.
People that need water right here.
Taylor Swift worked to get fans desperately needed water during her show Friday in Rio de Janeiro.
Sorry, it's just very hot, so when somebody says they need water and it's this hot, they really need it.
Even taking matters into her own hands during All Too Well. Temperatures in Rio broke records, 106 degrees on Friday. It felt like a sauna inside that stadium as the humidity made it feel like 139. Clara Benevides had been at the stadium for more than 8 hours, arriving at 11 a.m. to get as close to the stage as possible. The devout Swiftie was a university student studying psychology and said in a video earlier that day she was fulfilling a lifelong dream by attending the concert. She also complained about the heat and how she forgot her hat. Clara was one of more than 1,000 people needing medical attention that day. She passed out at the start of the concert, suffering cardiac arrest. Paramedics were able to revive her at the stadium. She died about 40 minutes later at the hospital. Taylor announced the news personally on her social media, saying she was devastated by the loss of a fan and calling her incredibly beautiful and far too young. She said she would be unable to speak about it from the stage, saying when she tries, she's overwhelmed by grief. She is feeling the loss deeply, and her broken heart goes out to family and friends. Alarming video has since emerged of Taylor herself, gasping for air, struggling to breathe during that same show. The following day, Saturday, fire trucks watered people down as they waited in line, and water was being handed out for free outside and inside the venue. A stark contrast from the day before, where outside beverages were not allowed in, and water was being sold for $2 a cup. That's a lot of money in Brazil. International Swifties were reportedly buying water for Brazilian Swifties caught off guard. This man, Dustin, an apparent member of Taylor's team, is being heralded on social media for handing out water in between songs, despite being told by the venue he couldn't do that. Brazilian authorities are investigating the local tour operator, Time for Fun, for the potential crime of endangering the life and health of concertgoers. They say all allegations will be looked into, including access to water and whether the vents to the venue had been blocked off to stop people from seeing in. It also stopped airflow from moving through. Electric fans were brought in for the remaining shows. Unlike the U.S. shows, the international shows are general admission on the floor, no seating. Unfortunately, that encourages fans to arrive as early as possible and also not give up their spots once they're inside to go get water, for example. Despite the water and extra steps taken, on Saturday, Taylor announced 3 hours before the show it was being postponed until Monday, citing safety concerns. Why she waited so long, she wrote the note from her dressing room, remains unclear.
Paid for flights and for 2 nights of hotel. Who's going to pay that to me? Who?
As fans were leaving the postponed show Saturday, chaos ensued as they were attacked by trawlers. In Brazil, those are groups of young people from the slums who attack en masse, grabbing bags, phones, whatever they can, and beating people along the way. Some sought refuge inside this Burger King, while others ran back into the stadium they had just come out of. Taylor and her team returned to their hotel to discover that some of their vehicles had been seized because the license plates were covered. Making matters worse, and announcing the news, Rio police revealed the location of Taylor Swift's hotel. Crowds descended on the hotel, creating a major security concern.
Valeu, Taylor.
Taylor Swift, parceiro. Aqui, ó, ele tá fazendo, filho.
It would have been worse had Swifties not jumped into action and flooded social media feeds with fake hotel information, making it more difficult to find the real hotel. That night, another tragic death of a young fan. 25-year-old Gabriel Santana had traveled to Rio to see Taylor Swift and was sleeping on Copacabana Beach at around 3 a.m. when robbers came up and stabbed him multiple times. He died wearing friendship bracelets. Turns out the men had just been released from police custody the day before for another robbery. This time, they robbed and killed. By Sunday, the rain had come, cooling temperatures and leaving dark clouds over Rio and the Eras Tour. With 2 sold-out shows still left to go, many wondered if Taylor Swift would take the stage at all. The local press was brutal, with interview after interview telling her to go home. Somehow, Taylor tuned out the noise and not only returned, but gave it her all, hitting notes she hadn't even attempted in months. The rain seemed to wash away hard feelings, at least temporarily, and Taylor's performance helped change the narrative. there was any question about how they would receive her, it was answered here, as fans showered her with adoration and appreciation for not canceling the shows and pushing forward. She appeared to fight back tears at certain points during this several-minute applause break as people chanted, "Te amo, we love you, Taylor." Taylor eventually stands up and says a few words to the crowd, giving a masterclass in how to lead with gratitude.
Rio, I love you so much. Thank you. You have no idea how much it means to me to get to be with you tonight, and just how welcoming you've been and how just beautifully you've treated us. Thank you so much.
Not one negative word, not one hint of bitterness. Taylor didn't address anything about night one, but she did make a change that had been requested by Brazilian fans on social media, dropping the pyrotechnics during Bad Blood that had sizzled an already scorching hot stadium night one. Taylor stayed true to her word and did not say anything about Anna's death from the stage. She didn't have to once fans heard the surprise song she had chosen. Bigger than the whole sky, about the loss of a young life. Taylor met Anna's family the next weekend in Sao Paulo, inviting them as her guests. I will have more on that coming up in the Sao Paulo recap. Night 2 on guitar, Dancing with Our Hands Tied from Reputation. Going back to night 1, on guitar, Stay Beautiful from her debut album, a song she hadn't performed live in 15 years. She said to honor the fact that so many Brazilians have been with her since day one. And that was paired with one of Taylor's newest songs, Suburban Legends, of 1989 Taylor's version, a vault track. Brings us to night 3. I can't stand this song, but Brazil seemed pretty into it, so sounds like a win-win. Keep it a hemisphere away from us, and they actually seem to like it. Because Taylor literally thinks about everything. You can see the 3 dresses she wore in Rio for the surprise songs make up the colors of the Brazil flag. And keeping with the flag theme, the audience found a way to display it right back to Taylor. It was the fan project during Marjorie. It was achieved using colored sheets of cellophane over the cell phone lights. This had a high risk for failure if not enough people did it. Very impressive.
You are creative geniuses, and I love you. And that was so beautiful to see that.
Well, considering how Rio started, something was bound to go wrong on this last night, and we got it out of the gate right away. Talking about the missing heel on Taylor's shoe there, see it? She had her Barbie moment. She's the one who ripped it off. See from the beginning here what happens. It's not really a broken heel, I guess it's like a wobbly heel, but it's clearly gonna create problems for her. I'm amazed she's able to walk on it the way she is. She finishes Cruel Summer, and you can see she starts to wobble on it there, and she's like, yeah, this is not gonna work. And she decides to rip the red bottom right off her Louboutin. You know the wardrobe person backstage was having a heart attack, but like Taylor's the boss, what do you say? Hand it to someone in the audience, on with the show, on to the man. I'd like to see a man do that. Not only do the job in heels, do it in one heel.
Life cuts both ways if the shoe fits, walking it till you high heels break. And I fell from the pedestal right down the rabbit hole. Long story short.
Hats off to Taylor for getting back on that stage and continuing those shows. Everything in me would have wanted to leave that country and never go back to Brazil again. Let me know what you think about Taylor's response. Did she do the right thing by performing? I actually think she canceled the Saturday concert too late. I think, she should have canceled it right away. Heat doesn't come up and surprise you. What's forecasted is generally pretty much in the ballpark of what it's going to be. I know she doesn't want to cancel and disappoint people, but it was probably inevitable on Saturday, and she should have made the call sooner. Let me know what you think. Leave some comments in the comment section if you agree or disagree. And for the next stop, we are staying in Brazil, on to Sao Paulo. And this will be the end of the Eras Tour for 2024. Please like the video, I'd appreciate it. Share it and subscribe. See you in Sao Paulo.